have a couple of our filmmakers in attendance. Let's see, Ryan Russo and Mark Visser, if you guys want to come on down to the stage. Ryan Russo was the director of Boiling Point, the silent film that we saw at the very beginning of the program, and Mark Visser was the director of The Camcorder. Oh, is Elizabeth here? Elizabeth Lowe, also the director of, Structural Theory of a Broken Bowl. So a round of applause for her. All right, so I want to make sure we have plenty of time for audience questions, because I'm sure we've got plenty of them to go. But I want to ask, just to start us off a little bit about, for each one of your films, what sort of was the inspiration? Where did this idea come from? And what motivated you to make the stories that you made?
I was watching a lot of silent films at the time. Chez Artiste was doing a bunch of screenings of Chaplin films and Buster Keaton old films. And I was thinking about how ridiculous cockfighting is as a concept and how it could be more ridiculous.
I was staying at my parents' last year, and my wife and I were staying, and I found my old camcorder, and I plugged it in, watched some videos, and that night I had a dream that I had a camera that could see into the past. So that was kind of the initiation of the idea, and it just kind of grew from there, and I thought, well, I'd make a cool kind of thriller piece.
I think I wanted to make a film that was like kind of a rug pull sensation in the beginning, to kind of basically challenge in like this, like my kind of litmus test in challenging the film industry and how it's treated DID, and like the way it's depicted DID versus like what it actually is like having DID. And so that kind of started the whole thing, and then I also just wanted to challenge myself as a filmmaker and pull out a bunch of stops. So
Another question. So what I love about this experience is all three of you are here from Colorado and based in Colorado, correct? So this is our first year here in Boulder, and one of the things that ScorpiusFest really wanted to do was give a venue and a place to show off the artistic talents that exist right here in our state. So my question to you from that point of view is, how has filming in Colorado been for you, and like what do you think is maybe the biggest advantage or commentary on like film in Colorado in general, as far as like how other people perceive it, what your experience has been like, and what you think we maybe need as a community of filmmakers here?
Well, I'm just getting started on my filmmaker journey, so I don't know, like I don't feel super plugged into a filmmaker community, to be perfectly honest, in Colorado, but so most of the people you saw in my film are like fellow students and like people I like kind of daisy chained connections with through various classes and programs. But I would love to like be able to just have a more like easier access network and feel plugged into a community more. My producer would know more about this question than me, to be honest. So.
I think one of the really cool things about Colorado is there's no tax incentives, but on the other side, compared to LA, it's really cheap. Some friends that made some short films in LA, and it cost them $900 to file for a permit to shoot on private property, and then they had to kind of keep faking stuff to make it happen. Shooting on houses they owned, they still had to spend thousands of dollars, and I think Colorado's advantage right now is you can go shoot and no one cares. You can't do that in other states where there's film productions, because they'll call the cops, they'll ask for permits, all this stuff. But here you can go shoot and no one cares. I think that's, for the time being, something to take advantage of.
I think it's a very tight-knit community. I feel like there's certain hubs for it: Denver, Boulder, big growing community in Colorado Springs, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of room for growth and potential there, especially with bigger festivals coming and tax incentives and things like that. So I'm very excited for the future of it.
Well, all of the films in this program were amazing, but the three that you made were particularly inspiring. I thought they're incredibly original, inventive, and just really, really solid storytelling. I do want to take the time now to open up the floor to any questions from the audience. Yeah, right here.
Hello. I have a question for the, I'm forgetting the full title. The Broken Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I forgot the full title. How embarrassing.
No, you're all good.
Okay, so when you shot the mirror scene, what did that look like? What were the actors mostly in the room with each other? Because I'm wondering how that was like for them if they were alone, like delivering those lines alone, versus with the actors that they were playing with. Yeah, just can you talk about that? I'm very curious.
Yeah, for sure. So, pretty much everyone was in the room as it was happening. We're all kind of just like sitting in corners of the room, especially like my audio people. Yeah, especially with the blue male character and the like pink female character, they actually were basically going off of each other in conversation. So everyone is in the room for every single shot, and the conversation just plays out entirely, but you of course only see one person in the shot. So that was how we were able to get like kind of the conversation to seem like a conversation. And it also, all of it was shot in one day as well, so that we could match the same shots to the best of our abilities. And like, I think most of the direction I gave was like, oh, when this person is talking, look to like the right because they're going to show up in this mirror, and when this person is talking, look forward because they're going to be in front of you. So yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah, right down here.
My question is for the Boiling Point director. You might have expected this kind of a question, but I noticed that you incorporated some sound design in your silent film as the storyline progressed. Was that a decision you made ahead of time, or is that something that evolved during production? I think it worked really well.
Yeah, definitely came about in the edit. I just
Okay.
thought certain moments needed a little more comedic effect.
Okay.
In the beginning when he's, screwing his pipe in, a little squeak is kind of funny. So mostly just for comedic effect, or if I wanted to draw more attention to a certain action.
Yeah, right here in the back.
Was there anything that you wanted to include for all of you in the final edit, in the final cut, that you couldn't include?
Anything in the final edit you wanted to include but couldn't include? A kill your darlings kind of moment. No? Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty meticulous planner when I make my films, so like I've kind of seen the film from the moment I like start planning it to the, like even to the final edit. But I think one thing that that is especially hard actually in Colorado filmmaking, at least for me, was that I wanted to incorporate more of like Asian American experience as well into my film. But it was just, it's hard to find exclusively Asian American actors, for example, at least in my little circle. And like I try to like get it across through like the music you heard and like the kind of the color grading for the guy wearing the beanie. But other than that, I think that was something that I kind of didn't as much get to explore in this film.
Any other questions? Yeah, right here.
Picking up on your question earlier about the local filmmaking community or the Colorado filmmaking community, for you guys, is there a resource, an institution, something, an element of some kind that you wish were present in it, that you feel like is needed, that could bolster and manifest more in terms of the local film scene?
Hopefully ScorpiusFest can fill that.
Yeah.
Right. That is the goal. Yeah. I have a yeah, go for it.
ScorpiusFest and actually our films played together a few months ago at the Bug Theater. They have a monthly program that shows local filmmakers, and I think more stuff like that of just like monthly opportunities to screen films, including film festivals and that kind of thing. Because then you actually get to see people's work. Because there's all the, it's great to have networking things, but you're not actually seeing someone's work. And so I think finding people that you connect with is a lot, I think, more productive when it's something like this or monthly programs. And just getting to see your film with an audience is, 50 times better than just putting it online and just getting a feel of people's reactions. I think really puts you in the seat. I think helps you become a better filmmaker. And yeah.
What a brilliant answer, and what a fantastic segue. Just as a reminder that ScorpiusFest tries to be a film festival for filmmakers first and foremost, and on that note, we do have panels today, one of which is at 2:30, so you've got just enough time to run over. It's over at the Hilton Garden Inn, and it is a panel on how to make a kick-ass trailer. So if there are any filmmakers in the audience that want to know how to cut together a really whiz-bang kind of trailer, that's a great panel to check out. I wanted to get another round of applause for our filmmakers here, and thank you everybody for coming out. More important than anything. So thank you for being here. Thanks to the Dairy Arts for hosting us. If you particularly liked any of these films, I want to remind everybody there is an audience award, audience choice award out in the lobby. We call it our Golden Scorpion. So there are QR codes for every single film. If there's one in particular you want to vote for, that's probably the best award a filmmaker can get is audience choice. So that wraps us up in here. And thanks so much, everybody, and hopefully see you at the next screening.